up, man? It's your boy Fame. You're checking out Your Music, My World. Black shirt, co-sign all day.
Them boys what it is, I'm what it's gon' be. You staring at the future, ESP. Nigga, space stars deep, so the tab gon' be high. Bottles on deck, make your baby say I. Standing on your couches, screaming we up in this bitch. Go for the nighters, nigga, I ain't trying to remember shit. Stumbling my sentences, telling chicks they haven't seen. From the look I estimate, I'll be fucking definite. Let's make the best of it, bring your friend too. And y'all can share this deep. Cause that's what
What's going on, Alex?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, man. Busy.
Okay. So for my first question, you were signed in 2010 to a production deal with MBK, the same people who started with Alicia Keys. How did that deal come about?
That whole process is just, it's incredible to be part of MBK. I actually signed to a management and production deal, so to just have them, back me, especially coming from an artist like Alicia, who's had all the success that she's had, like, it's just a blessing to be part of the family and to be embraced. Because, being that I do hip-hop, I'm MBK's, first hip-hop act. So, for them to embrace, what I do and not try to come in and change what I do, but just, try to work with me to get me to where I need to be is incredible.
Okay. So with rappers like Drake and J. Cole out right now, what do you think that sets you apart from them that people will notice?
I think what any artist is, I try to be true to who I am and my story, and I feel like no one has the same story. So as long as I'm true to myself, and whatever I say is gonna come off different, and my whole subject matter is gonna be different, because I'm pretty sure that J. Cole and Drake hasn't been what I've been through, and vice versa. I haven't been what they've been through. So our experience on our music is always gonna sound, different, being whether it be the subject matter or how we relate.
Okay. Well, I listened to your mixtape, The Hybrid Season, when it first came out, and you showcased that you can rap and that you can sing. What did you start out with first? Did you start out rapping or did you start out singing first?
They kind of merged together, at the same time. They kind of came into, at the same time. I thought, growing up in Brooklyn, you're surrounded by hip-hop. And then on top of that, everyone, my family alone is so musically inclined. My grandfather being a doo-wop singer, my mom singing in church, my cousin being an artist signed to Def Jam. So I was always surrounded by, R&B music. But then growing up in Brooklyn, you're surrounded by the hip-hop element also. So, I just kind of nurtured both of them at the same time and tried to just kind of build them at the same time so I could bring this hybrid style of music.
Okay. So who were some of the musical acts that you looked up to growing up?
Well, definitely a lot of Brooklyn-based artists, man. I looked up to the Jay-Z's, the Biggies, the Fabulouses, just anybody that came before me that was from my borough, just because I looked at them as inspiration. If they could make it out, of Brooklyn, then there shouldn't be no reason I couldn't. So I always looked at the people that came before me on the R&B side. I looked at R. Kelly as inspiration. I looked at certain groups, Drew Hill. I love Drew Hill. I love Next and Jagged Edge. Just a lot of real R&B based type groups. And also take my experiences from the whole. I love rock music, and I just love what rock stars bring to it, their aura, how they just, they command the stage, their whole personality. So I always looked at, artists like Bon Jovi and Aerosmith, and, Steven Tyler, people like that who just, gave off that rock star kind of feel, and I wanted to include that aura into my music, too, and that kind of presence into it.
Okay, that's what's up. So being a new artist that's getting a lot of buzz, how do you describe your sound?
I describe my sound as real smooth. My R&B is not too edgy. It's real laid back and smooth and just feel good music. I try to capture the emotion rather than just going a fad or a style of beat. Whatever the beat, whatever I hear and whatever emotion I draw from that beat, I try to put that on a record. Because whoever's listening, I will want them to feel the same thing. So it's just real smooth, laid back. My rap, more so on the hip-hop part, it's a little bit more edgy, a little bit more in your face, because, that's my whole Brooklyn comes out, the whole hip-hop side. So I think I found a pretty good balance of smooth R&B vocals with, in your face rap vocals, so that's why I call it that hybrid. It's like kind of meets in the middle.
So you go by the name Fame. What made you come up with that name to call yourself?
Fame came from just my neighborhood. Like a lot of people, they would always tell me, "Oh, you're gonna be famous one day." Being that I sang and I rap, it was kind of rare for someone to be doing both of those like I was doing. So people was like, "Yo, you're so talented. You're gonna be famous one day. You're gonna be famous." And after a while, I started listening to that, and you're like, you know what? Just make it short. I was calling myself Fame, and I just wanted to represent like where I came from. Just what does everyone? I actually said it in a record. Like, what does everyone want? What does everyone chase? And what does everyone desire? And I came up with Fame, so I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna be the voice of the person that wants to obtain all of this, the one that who was looked over, and that's how I came up with the whole Fame title.
Well, you just recently released your mixtape, The Hybrid Season. What was your inspiration when making the mixtape?
My inspiration for it was just the time period in music that was going on. I kind of noticed that rappers were singing and singers were rapping, and not to saying that I do it better than anyone else, but like I do feel I do it at a level that a lot of people can't compete. And I just wanted to showcase that on this mixtape, that I'm really good at both, kind of tell my story, give the people a little of who I am. So in the mixtape, I include my situations with love. I include my situations from, being a regular kid to now the world looking at you as, the successor to a whole entire company, that was built by another artist. So I talk about all that in this mixtape, and I just wanted people to kind of understand me on it and get where I'm coming from and introduce my style of music into the game.
Well, what is your favorite track off the mixtape?
I say my favorite track off the mixtape is Dreams. And I say that because Dreams, I tackle three major, situations in my life. The first situation, the joy of finally being here, being in this situation, the joy of finally making it to a level that we always used to talk about, in my neighborhood and dream about. And now that I'm at this level where I talk about that in the first verse. I talk about the relationship I was going through at the time when I was making the transition and how it ended. And then in the third verse, I just talk about the future and what people can expect and what I'm going to bring. So I tackled three real big things that were going on in my life. And the record just talks about, me living my dream finally. All the work that I put into coming to the point that I am now, where I feel like I'm actually making a statement. I'm no longer invisible. I'm actually a bleep on the radar now.
So with being so young and getting such a big buzz on your music, how are you taking in all the positive feedback?
I'm taking it in, and it's real humbling. Like, it really is. Like, to hear all this stuff, sometimes I even got to take myself back and be like, wow, they're really talking about me at times, because, I would have never expected it to be like that. And so, it's a blessing, like, to hear people talking the way they do about my music, and me actually making it happen now is definitely a blessing.
Yes, your mixtape was I loved it. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
So if you could change anything in music right now, what would it be and why?
Honestly, I wouldn't change anything. I love me. I'm always a student of music before anything, and I feel like whatever an artist feels like he wants to put out, I would hope that he feels, as passionate about it as I do. So whatever they're putting out, then if you're passionate about it and you believe in it that much, then I can't really, who am I to tell you what you need to change? You know what I'm saying? I'm still figuring it out myself. So I love everyone's music. I think everyone brings a certain aspect to the game that is important and that we all use. Everyone feeds off of each other. So I feel like the more diverse we have, the more entertaining it is. Once we have too much of one sounding kind of music, I think that's when it kind of gets overlooked. But I think everyone in the game right now is kind of, bringing their own thing and doing their own thing. So I wouldn't change anything. I just want to be part of it.
So when starting up, what was the most challenging thing that you had to overcome?
The most challenging thing, I would say it was the mentality, getting it down packed that this is no longer just my hobby. You know what I'm saying? This is no longer just my pastime anymore. It's not like I'm doing this, for fun anymore. Now this has become my job. And there's certain things that in a job that you have to do and take serious. You got to make sure in this game, you got to make sure your image is right. So just increasing in the gym, watching what I eat, vocal lessons every day, just trying to really train myself and kind of perfect my talent so I could be great. Because I do want to be one of the greats in this game. So I'm just taking whatever it takes to get to that spot. That's what I'm gonna do.
You just dropped 2 videos from the mixtape, and obviously, the mixtape is out. What else can fans expect from you in the near future?
Well, actually, we're in the studio right now working on my album, and I'm actually excited about it because I finished actually majority of it. So we're in the last stages of it, adding the last maybe 1 or 2 records and sending it over to master and mixing. So now that that's done, you'll be expecting a single from me real soon. Either by the end of this year or by the top of the year, I'll have a single out, and my videos will both be on TV circulating. So it's just work time. It's grind season for me and my whole team. So we already know what it is. So we gonna make it happen.
Okay. Well, you just told us that you're planning your album. Who do you have on it, like as guest features?
Right now, I'm just working with a bunch of vast artists. Like, I haven't sat down and picked the actual tracks that are going to be on the album, but I know I have as a majority done. So I don't know exactly who's going to be on it yet, but I know I have a record with Big Sean. I have Waka Flocka on a record, Red Cafe. I have Tyga from Young Money. Who else? I have a couple of people from my own camp, from the whole Space Stars and whole MBK camp, and just like I said, I'm still waiting on a couple of verses, so I don't want to say the artist's name and then that doesn't happen. But like we still working, trying to get, like I said, the last couple of little pieces to put an album together, and that's one of the pieces, getting all the right features and just making sure it sounds great.
I can make you fall in love with me tonight. Show you things that you never seen in your life. But I ain't come here to find love. Even though you fine as fuck, the timing ain't right. Plus I'm feeling all nice, and I won't remember you in the morning.